I got a new video. Alicia Michelle, I'm ready to go. Eurovision fam, are you ready for the show? Hello, folks. Welcome. American Song Contest. We're in the home stretch now. This is semifinal 1. And we've got a nice lineup this evening. We've got heavy hitters coming back tonight. I mean, I feel like it was just yesterday we were watching the premiere, right, Mom?
Yeah. Yes. It went by really quickly. It did. But I'm excited to get to see some people coming back and get to see them take the performance to the next level. So, yeah, let's get this party started.
Now, I mean, it's been interesting watching the American Song Contest. I'm curious, Mom, because a lot of Eurovision fans, I mean, because they're watching the show thinking of the model of Eurovision. But, like, let's kind of reflect a little bit about the show structure. As someone who you watch The Voice, you watch American Idol from time to time, because you don't watch Idol all the time. You kind of hop in sometimes. Like, if it's on, sometimes you'll watch it, right?
Yes, I enjoyed it initially, but then the performers seemed to fit in a pattern, and the show just seemed to be like the same show with different names.
I agree. I think like a lot of these song contests, well, not song contests, but like talent shows, it's like they look for the small town girl. You know, we have like the rocker, they're looking for, that diva, Whitney Houston-esque sort of thing.
A little
Yeah,
bit of country.
yeah, like we've got our country boy. You know what I mean? Like I do think that they do look for that. And I think that American Idol, I mean, at its core, is a television show. Whereas I think with Eurovision, as someone who follows it, and I think I have a comment here. So Terps is saying, I really dislike how they do it as a TV show and not an event like Eurovision. And I think that is probably a difference of it, because this doesn't feel like an event. It does feel like a TV show, even given the fact that we're going kind of week by week, as opposed to Eurovision, which, is really 1 week, even though it's like, for those of us in the bubble, we've got the national selections we can follow. We can kind of listen to some of the songs ahead of time, and then we sort of converge for that week, to watch the show. But I mean, for someone who doesn't watch Eurovision, how did this format work for you, like kind of week by week? Do you feel like this was good for you?
So personally, the time frame was a bit of a strain. So I think I would have liked to have seen maybe a 2 hour first show, and then shorter 1 hour shows to follow up with that. Although I did enjoy the performances, and they did break them up with some information about the state and territory, so you could kind of get a chance to know the area as well as the provider, as well as the performer, um, uh, the the physician in me. Sorry. So at any rate, I think this was a good structure for their first time. I think they also have the end the end game in mind, which is putting things on the radio, maybe having a recording deal. Like American Idol, I think it vamped into, okay, we need to have a rocker, we need to have
Yeah.
country, because we're going to have a road show when this is over.
Yeah. I mean, I think that my fear with the American Song Contest is, and they announced today actually, so this is the big news today, there's going to be a Canadian Song Contest. So the American Song Contest happened, now we're going to have a Canadian Song Contest. And I think I don't want to say fear, but I think my surprise is, oh, So maybe this was the model all along. Like maybe Eurovision is trying to turn into sort of like The Voice. Because there is a The Voice UK, there's The Voice Turkey, we have The Voice here in the States. I mean, even with America's Got Talent, that's Britain's Got Talent. So maybe the long term model as far as Eurovision kind of the subsidiary, I don't know, like the Eurovision for sale sign isn't really for Eurovision. It's you can have yours and you can have yours and you can have yours. So maybe that's the model that they're going for, is just people buy sort of this format.
I think they're kind of going through some growing pains, and you can definitely see that this is a work in progress. I don't know what this is going to end up becoming. I hope that it becomes something. I think there's an opportunity here to focus more on the songs and the origin of the songs, since this is the American Song Contest. I think there's been more chit chat about the performers than the actual songs. What do you think?
Yeah, I think for me, with Eurovision, they have commentators. We call them postcards. So you can kind of get to know the artist a little bit. But them postcards be like 30 seconds. You know what I mean? And I think that almost encourages the performer to, because this is where I think I would be coming from, like, make the song reflect the performer. Let me get to know you through that. I don't need a minute, 2 minute postcard with you introducing yourself to me. Let me just get to know you through your music. Like, to me, those long postcards should have been the digital content. Like, hey, so and so just hit the stage, find out more about them, or read this profile of the artist on NBC.com. I would have been driving sort of a more, I think, 360 strategy in promoting it and letting the show be about the songs. And then if people want to dig in, that's the part I would have built the intrigue about, because I think they were trying to build the intrigue and the mystery around the song. And it was like, give us the music. The intrigue should be how you're going to bring it to life, not the actual product, because that's what drives the show. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's going to make me tune in, is like, oh, I heard this song. This is dope. Like, how are they going to do this live? Like, that's what I would use as my promotion.
But I think they were also trying to take the opportunity to promote the states and the territories. Honestly, as Americans, we don't really know much about other states and the territories in the United States. So, I mean, I think I learned a lot. We tend to focus on our little states and the states around us, and we may go to places like California or New York, but how often do we go to, like somebody from Virginia going to Vermont or New Hampshire? And I think when we travel in Europe, people look at us as Americans, and when we're in America, we're more like, I'm a Virginian, I'm from New Hampshire.
See, I disagree with that. Like, because I don't think I think I never felt how American I was, actually, until I worked for Carnival. Once I worked for Carnival, and it was like, because I think in my cast, there was only one other person who was American, and she was from like upstate New York. So we were the only two Americans, and that was like the first time I ever felt like, oh, like because if you asked me before, I wouldn't even say I'm from DC, or even actually, you know what, but you might be right. I think we do sort of, yeah, like, but I think it's more rooted regionally than statewide, depending upon which state you're, because you don't walk around like, I'm Virginia. You do
Well,
not.
no, that's true. But when you're when you're in places like when you're in college, or if you're at a national meeting or something like that, there's a focus on which state you're from. I mean, when I was in college, way back when in the olden days, I was known as the girl from DC because and people still remember, oh yeah, when people would ask you where you were from, you would say DC, not Washington DC, but
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, maybe it's my perception of Europe. I feel that they visit each other's countries far more than we visit each other's states.
States. Well, no, that I agree with. But also, too, I think there's other well, and I won't get on a soapbox, but I think there's other factors. We don't have as much vacation time. We don't have like most people don't have great benefits, so you sometimes save your vacation for like, well, what happens if I get sick
Yeah.
or do this. So I think there are other things put in place, not to mention they have more holidays because they get some of the holy days. I remember I was like in Prague and people were like, it's the holiday weekend. And I'm like, what holiday is it? And they're like, oh, for Catholics. I'm like, I'm Catholic. What holiday is it? And it was some like feast of some saint. I'm like, when's the last time we celebrated that? I mean,
Well, I have to say I do miss being in Catholic school because we did get some extra days off. As I recall, yeah.
all right, well, I'm going to hop into some of these comments. Okay, so Yassine says, why is Canada's version called Eurovision Canada? Oh, I got it. Yeah, so the Canadian Song Contest. Well, I think because with Canada, if we think about it, and Mom, you've been to Canada like a couple of times, Canada, I think, is actually pretty close to Europe. I don't want to say close, but I think culturally there's a little bit more connection there than like America, I'd say. And I almost kind of would say, like, I think Canada's a little bit, it has sort of like that European panache, definitely more than we do, like in
But
the States.
I think there's still some British territories in Canada. Am I wrong with that? Geography was not my strong point. But I think there are some, and maybe some of your viewers can help us out with that. But I do believe there's still um, some territories, I guess you would call it, that are part of the UK. Because
Well,
then when
well, if
Megan
France, oh,
and
I don't know. Yeah, you might be right about that. But I think with Canada, I think because the Eurovision brand is a brand, I think for Canadians, probably more so than for Americans. That's why they're piggybacking off the brand, which I don't think is completely wrong. I've got another. Naruto says you can tell what state someone is from by the way they talk and act sometimes, which I do think is true. I think that is true. Like, yeah.
and sometimes people try to capitalize on that.
Yeah, that is true. And then
And
we
we
got
we
someone else saying it's easier to travel in Europe because that's the other thing too. For me to get to California, could like actually my flights to Portugal were cheaper than my flight because I had to go to California a couple of times than my flight to California.
Wow.
Like I think air travel is a little bit more affordable there. Yeah.
But Europe has the trains too, right?
Yeah, and then you have the trains where you can take the train. I mean, like we have the train in the States, but our trains aren't as nice. Even though I've heard the east to west coast, there is like a line that goes from like DC that you can kind of take DC, but I think you change trains and then you hop in somewhere in the Midwest, and apparently that is a really nice train.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then so someone says not all of Canada has European appeal that would only apply to Montreal. But like I mean, I feel like Toronto is a pretty metropolitan city that feels cleaner than like New York. That's kind of what I mean. Like to me, like most European cities are kind of nice. Like New York stinks.
Not
Like it
all.
smells. It smells.
Not everywhere. Come
Fine,
on.
not everywhere, but in lots of pockets of New
But
York.
it's a lot better than it was. I'm just saying.
Yes, yes, this is true. This is true. In DC, it only stinks in garages. I, in garages and some alleys. But you would expect it to stink in an alley because that's where the garbage is. I mean, New York, don't they put the trash like on the sidewalk, like where people walk? See? Alley. Where you expect it, you know. People aren't supposed to be yeah, no. Okay. Oh wait, so we've got someone from Canada just came in. Yes, as someone who lives in Canada, I was surprised and excited about the Eurovision Canada announcement. Just call it the Canadian Song Contest. I just think there are more people, like I would bet there are more people in Canada, like on average, like by percentage, than Americans that know Eurovision. I think. If we did it like by average, I think you'd have more familiarity there. I mean, I don't know, but maybe. Oh, yes, Mom, you are infamous. So, all right. We've talked about the format of the show. So there's nothing else. Is there anything else you would change about the format of the show or your viewing experience watching the American Song Contest over the past couple of weeks?
No, I think that's it. Just maybe shorter shows, not every show being 2 hours long.
Okay.
More emphasis on the song and the song origin. Maybe even expanding a little bit more on the territories and the states, because I feel like the story that they told for the most part were what the performer chose to share, kind of more from their perspective than necessarily reflecting the diversity in within each state and territory within the United States.
Okay. Okay. I think that that's fair. All right. So we've been watching all of these weeks, and we know that only 5 songs are going to get to advance from this evening. So I figure we can talk about what we want and then what we think will happen. So let's start off and talk about what we would like to see happen. So, and just as a refresher, tonight we have Alabama, that's the duet. Nico, they had their song The Difference. Yeah. Then Colorado, Riker Lynch, he had sort of that island vibes song, which actually reminded me of a Eurovision song that didn't get into the final, but it was a robbery. It was Norway's song, Hababa, dun, 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 dee, da, da. His song reminded me a lot of Hababa. I think I even started humming along to it. Riker Lynch is representing Colorado. Now, Riker Lynch was in a group with his siblings, and I think they were kind of famous. And the brother, I know the brother is still sort of working and acting because he played young Jeffrey Dahmer in a movie. So that's how I was like, oh yes, I am familiar with that Lynch. Next up, we have Kentucky Jordan Smith with Sparrow, up and fly away. Then we have Massachusetts Jared Lee, who has Shameless, which I feel like he was giving me little like R&B, like John B. Light vibes a little bit. I actually liked the song. I did like it. And I liked his performance. I liked his voice. Michigan, we have Ada Leann, Natalie. She was the young girl who made it from the last heat that we had. And I think a lot of people are comparing her to Taylor Swift, sort of like she's a young Taylor Swift singer-songwriter. And she's our youngest contestant. Next up, we have your boy from Montana, Jonah Prill. Why don't we fire it up? Hey, why don't we fire it up? Hey. So yes, so we've got Jonah Prill back on the stage, and then we have another one of your favorites, Mom, New Hampshire's Mari, who had her very anthemic message song, what she identified as the did she say the Latina Lizzo? So yes, and she was actually on Love Oz, which is the Spanish version of The Voice. So she has performed there before, and she's really, I think, a Christian artist. Like, I think she's had like some singles, some Christian stuff, and then we have our K-pop girl representing Oklahoma. Oh, Alexa Wonderland. I'm like, it's Monday. It's been a long day, but she has her song. We loved her staging, so she's back. Then we've got Rhode Island's Heuston, and then Washington State, Alan Stone, so soulful, yes. Then we have Wyoming, Ryan Charles, New Boot Goofin, and folks, Mom and I, you got to go over to my TikTok. If you are loving New Boot Goofin, you got to watch the line. You got to learn the line dance. It's cute. It's cute. Okay. So that's who we have performing this evening. Now let's kick off and talk about what we want. So, Mom, who do you want to see advance?
Want. I would like to see. Gwen's not here tonight, but I'm gonna represent her. So I would like to see Mari. I would like to see Nico. So I guess I should say the states. I would like to see New Hampshire. I would like to see Alabama. Now, that is not to say.
Okay, wait, so hold on. Okay, so let me get yours locked again. You want New Hampshire. You want New Hampshire. You want Alabama. Okay, what else?
Well, I want Jordan, and
Yeah,
I
okay.
think this is a tough heap. You got Jordan and you got Alan Stone. I'm just not sure that I'm pretty sure that they are going to be in the top 5. I would be surprised
Wait, so
if they
you've
were
only
not.
said 3 people, but only said 3 people. Who else? Who else are
I,
you putting in?
I
I
said
got New Hampshire,
4.
Alabama,
I got
Kentucky.
Nico.
That's
Okay,
Alabama.
and
And
Washington
okay,
State,
so you're putting in
Alan
Allen.
Stone.
Okay, okay. I got Allen. Okay. Okay, I see some people in the comments. Wyoming,
Now,
Alabama, Oklahoma, Colorado, Michigan. Okay, I see yours. All right.
yeah, I'm not sure that Colorado is going to. Well, yeah, This is a tough group. Um, I think there's going to be. Now I'm getting into the speculation. Well, why don't you say
Well, no, because
your
I'm
thought?
saying well, you haven't even given me 5 of your wants. You got to choose 5 that you want. I got New Hampshire, Mari. I figured you were going to pick her. Alabama. I didn't know if you were going to pick Alabama, but okay. But you picked Alabama. You have
I like
Kentucky.
them.
Okay, good. You
Kentucky.
got Kentucky. You got Washington. Who else? Who else you going for?
Hmm. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma. I think the K-pop is gonna. I think they're gonna
No, but
pop.
I'm saying what you want, not the predictions. Just what you want.
I mean, I like Wonderland. I like.
Okay, so you're going with
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Let me see. Let me see. Um. Okay. No. Okay. Take Oklahoma out with what I like, and
Yeah.
we'll go with Massachusetts.
Okay, so you want Massachusetts. Okay. Okay, you want to hear what I want?
Okay.
Okay. What I would want to see happen is Houston from Rhode Island. I want Jordan. I want Jordan. I want Alabama. I sure do. I need Washington State. Need. And I want New Boot Goofin in the final. I want it. I'm just saying, for the inaugural class of, the American Song Contest, we need something fun. We need something. And I'm down to New Boot Goof it all over there. So someone's asking how many qualify from tonight? 5. So that's why we're giving our 5 wants, and then we can talk about our predictions. So yeah. Well, I this is what I will say. Do you want to do your prediction first, or do you want me to give my prediction?
You go first.
Okay. So, this is what I think is going to happen. Oklahoma, Alexa. Kentucky, I think we're getting Jordan. I think we're getting Heuston. I do think we're getting Heuston. Alan Stone, I think, is a lock. I think Alan Stone's a lock. And then I think we're going to get Ada Leann. That's what I think. Because honestly, Ada Leann might win the jury. If Ada Leann doesn't win the jury, it'll be Alan. That's what I'm thinking. It'll be Alan.
You think Alan's going to be Jordan? That's the matchup I want to see.
In the jury? Well, I think they're both. This is the thing. I think that they are both advancing. And I think they're both going to be in the final. I think the jury is going to back Ada or Alan. Like, Jordan's going to be up there. So that's why I'm like, I think Jordan's going to advance. Like, yeah, I think Jordan's going to advance. I think he's in there. And I think that Jordan actually kind of, I don't want to say cancels out Mari, but her vocal was a little bit shaky when she performed. She is doing a message song. And I think hers is upbeat and good. You know what I mean? It's not really a message song for me, but I enjoyed her performance. But I think Jordan trumps. Yeah. I think Sparrow, up and fly away. She should have done The Voice America. Because Jordan won it. That's what I'm saying. He's got the fan base. He's got the fan base. She got the fan base in Spain, but Jordan got America on lock.
So what's your prediction again?
So I think Alexa, Jordan, I think Houston's making it, and I think Alan's making it, and Ada Leann. Ada Leann. Yeah. Jose says Ada is more iHeartRadio. The thing is, I think that Ada could win the jury. If Ada doesn't win the jury, then I think Alan has a chance. I think Alan has a chance to win the jury. But here's the thing. Ada can fit on, as someone who used to work in radio, you can put her on like a CHR station. You can put her on your country stations. You can put her on your adult contemporary stations. Like, you can put her on your top 4. Yeah, like you could put her even on a hot, like a top 40 station. She could creep in there. And not discounting Alexa, but like Alexa, like you wouldn't put her on an adult contemporary music station. Like, she's not going to be on a mix station. She's going to be on your top 40 stations. But like Ada, she can do country. She can do top 40. She can do your adult contemporary. Yeah. You can put her on all of those formats. Yeah. So the jury being so padded with radio professionals, that would be the one. They're like, yeah, we can run her on all of these formats. Like, because with Alan, no. Heuston, no. None of the rest of them could you run on all these formats. And there's a lot of money in country radio. But I will also throw this in there. A lot of money in Christian radio. Christians listen to the radio.
So what about Colorado? in terms of his flexibility, because he's done a lot of different types of music too, right?
So,
Riker Lynch.
but the thing is, but the song is, Jimmy Buffett, Island Sounds. He could get maybe top 40, maybe like there are these like rock formats that are sometimes like soft rock. Maybe he could creep in there, but he's not going to be on the moneymaker stations. That's honestly, the moneymaker stations are urban stations, because black folks still listen to the radio. So your urban stations, but we don't have any R&B songs in the mix, so that's not happening. But Christian stations make money and country music stations make money. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go pretty strong with your predictions as well. And I'm definitely going with Allen and was that Washington State and Kentucky. Um, and Wonderland,
Yeah, I think
Oklahoma.
Wonderland's going to be in, because this is the thing. So I see this comment, Oklahoma could still flop due to not singing live. Well, to be honest, the last two qualification rounds we've had, them tracks have been down. So I am sure that there was a conversation with her of like, hey, we don't need you to do this. So I think she has a chance. But we have to remember, she came second. Wait, no, we don't know where she fell with the jury. She finished second. So we actually don't know where she fell with the jury. I think I was just always putting it in my mind, like, didn't she come second but she ended up, I think, coming second overall. So there's still an unknown there. So maybe. And then this question, do we get all the results tonight? I'm not going to lie. I have no clue. I don't know if we're going to get all the, I think we're just going to get the jury tonight. And then they'll do the results next week, because they'll let people vote till Wednesday. Because the thing is, they have to do next day on Peacock. So,
Okay.
yeah, they'll do next day on Peacock. So I don't think we're getting the results tonight, other than I think the jury. I think that we will find out who our jury save is. And I'm putting my money on Ada Leann as the jury save.
Well, they put her up in the beginning. She was a judge pick, correct?
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think tonight, I think that she could win. My money is on her or Alan Stone winning the jury tonight.
So the jury's going to pick another one tonight.
I think that's how it's going. I think it's still going to be I think. See,
So
this
so
is so confusing.
so how many people are we going to have for the final? See, I think that's a lot too. Because
Well,
to
no,
me, it's
it'll be five. It'll be five from each bunch.
so that's 10. That's another night of 10. And
That's
we
what they
still
want.
have,
They want it to be 2 hours. That's what they want. That's what they did their ad buys for. Uh-huh. But yeah, someone's saying second redemption could be I don't take pictures anymore from New Jersey. I actually think so. I actually, she's up there because her streams are pretty high. Yeah, because the thing is, we don't know the other save. I actually think I predicted this. I think, who did I say? Let me look this up, because I think I had listed out, I think I said this like on Twitter, someone asked, and I was like, for when I was thinking of who could possibly get in, that's at, Yam House has the most streams on Spotify. Yam House, they were the people who opened the show, and they were the band. It was like ready to go or something like that. Ready.
what about the DJ one?
See, I would like that to be saved, but I doubt. I doubt, because I think that they are. What they said is that they're like, keep streaming, but like Nubu Goofin didn't have the most streams. So I'm like, was it video views? Like, are we looking at music videos too? So like maybe they're looking at the YouTube channel. Oh, someone has me. Jewel. I did mention Jewel. And the reason why I mentioned Jewel is because I'm like, in a American Song Contest, I think you want to have Jewel. She just won the Masked Singer. She's going on tour. So, yeah, Jewel, I thought also because Jewel, remember, came ninth and then ended up finishing fifth. So, like, in my mind, she must have won the televote that week. Yeah. I Am Steven says, Mom, if Mom thinks 10 songs is a lot, I don't know how she'd make it through a Eurovision final. At the Eurovision final, we have 25 songs. I mean, the show is like 3-4 hours. But it's only 1 week, and everyone knows it's coming, and it's a Saturday night. It's a Saturday night. See, the American Song Contest is on a Monday.
Yeah, I could.
A Monday.
Monday night, yes. I could hang on 2 hours of a Saturday night, definitely.
But you know what? I said this before. Actually, one of my critiques for the show is I think that this should have been airing in the summer. And I think it should have been family viewing. I think it should have been Saturday, Friday night where the whole family, I mean, because we are still semi-living in a pandemic. People still aren't going out like that. To me, I would have premiered this after Eurovision. And I would have been like, Eurovision has just happened, and now we're getting ready for the American Song Contest. And I would have ran it in summer. We could have had the artists doing nice little summer series, because Today's Show does a nice little summer series concert. We could have had previews of the artists, we could have done reviews, and that would have been them performing in the middle of Central Park outside. I mean, very, very missed opportunity in my opinion. Oh wait, hold on. Yam House has been open on IG songs about they have top streams but didn't hear back from the show. I mean, if it's based on streaming, Yam House has the most and people know who they are. They actually have like a fan base. Yeah. Someone says, I'm guessing they wanted to do it before Eurovision, so it gets a shout out at Eurovision. But here's the problem. It'll be mentioned to a body of people who cannot watch the show, and then NBC geo-block the videos. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my other phone is ringing. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, are we? Do we need to refresh our drinks prior to the 8 o'clock show?
Well, let's just see. So any last comments before we get ready to watch the show? So someone says, yeah, the hype is still right there after ESC. That's what I think. And then thinking about how you can build, local buzz, state-based buzz, because these are the people who are going to give you those viewership numbers. The Today Show, again, they have a whole summer series where the artists perform. It's really is like a thing. So you could have even had like the winner, like the jury winner of the previous night, Tuesday mornings, they're performing live on the Today Show. And I'm just surprised, like with it being on NBC, that just straight up didn't happen. OMG, Alicia, stop talking. You're giving them the good ideas and we need to make sure. Yeah, well, look, at least I can say it that on Monday, April 25th at 7:49 p.m., I said it. And if they steal my idea, I can hold them accountable. Run me my check. Oh, yes, someone said, Jose, they should have released the songs beforehand.
Yeah, I'm with the fan. Yes, please.
They should have released the songs beforehand. I've been saying that all along. That I'm like, that's how you build your momentum. Oh, and hold on. Oh, we've got a compliment. We need a stream with both you and your mom where you just explain random stuff about Eurovision to her and ask questions. I think there will be a lot of question asking happening. Oh, let's reflect on this. Hold on. How about you run next year's American Song Contest? Well, if they run me my check, I will gladly do it. No. Also, I feel like it got overshadowed, to be honest.
Get the check.
The Eurovision, by the Eurovision pre-parties. It's too close to actual Eurovision. I agree. I think, but I think that's in the bubble, and for Europe, most Americans don't really follow Eurovision or know about it. So again, there are things that I think they could have done locally to build up that buzz that they just quite frankly didn't do. And with the benefit of them being on NBC, it's kind of dumb that they didn't do it, because all the money that NBC spent, they should have been running on Today's Show with a featured segment every Tuesday morning of this is what happened. And then Kelly's on NBC, she brought on Ryan for New Boo Goofin, but she didn't do anything else. We could have had that. Ad Visco. People have so much negativity on Twitter with Eurovision Canada and ASC. People are comparing it to Eurovision when it's not Eurovision. Everyone hates ASC now, hating on the... I mean, look, I get where people are coming from with the frustration, but I think as an American who watches Eurovision, I have always talked about it with the frame of like, but why would you listen to me? I'm an American. This show isn't made for me. I'm not going to try and come over there and change the show per se. I can give my thoughts, but I'm giving my thoughts under the guise of, but why would you listen to me? You know what I mean? It's just what I think could be dope. But like, why would you listen to me? Because it's not for me. The American Song Contest is not for Europeans. It's for Americans. And low-key, it's for Americans who don't really know about Eurovision anyway. So they're not going to make the comparisons. So I think there's that. And then someone says, remember ASC got delayed? I do remember. But it was still going to be early. To me, it was still going to be too early because I wouldn't have had it in the winter. This is a summertime show, okay? It's a summer show. That's, yeah.
I think they should have picked another day and time, because I don't think they should have put it up against American Idol. Not
well, that's
right
the
away.
other thing. Yeah, no, I think that's the other thing. I think, just like American Idol got started in the summer, this should have gotten started in the summer. And on that note, I think I'm ready to see. So let's just recap. Who do you want to see advance, Mom, tonight? Who do you want? And then I'll say who I want, and then we'll do our predictions. Because I think you just agreed with my predictions.
My want, Alabama, Kentucky, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Washington State.
Okay. And here's my wants. My wants are Heuston from Rhode Island, Jordan Smith from Kentucky, Nico, Alabama, we need that duet in the final, Alan Stone from Washington, and Ryan Charles with Wyoming, because we need something fun. New Boo Goofin. But our predictions are, because you agree with me with my predictions, I'm saying Alexa, I'm saying Jordan, I'm saying Kentucky, Jordan, I'm saying Heuston, I'm saying Alan Stone and Ada Leann. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. You wouldn't swap out anyone there?
Yes.
Because I think you asked the question about Riker, but I just don't think... Because the thing is, Riker didn't make it through the jury. He got through off the fans. So, yeah.
And then I was thinking about Rhode Island versus Massachusetts, but I think the Rhode Island song was stronger than the Massachusetts song.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
that's my thought.
All right.
I'm gonna go get,
well, we're closing out. Get your cocktail. Cheers. It's time for us to get hype for the American Song Contest semifinal 1. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.